All right, y'all. Hey, good morning. Um, can you be too loyal? Is there such a thing? Too much loyalty? Short answer, yes. I mean, come on. Um, it can go too far. What does that mean, though? I guess it means like you're committed to something that is kind of like negative now in your life. Um, so in my life, this has happened. I know in two, or maybe even more of my relationships, where because I'm insanely loyal. I'm an incredibly loyal person at the core, which just means I will stick to a commitment to someone close to me till the cows come home, till for like forever. Okay, it's a challenge for me to leave when I need to, if it's good for me. Okay, this happened with my parent who raised me. Um, it also happened in a romantic relationship, major one, um, where my feeling was inside that nothing would ever change, that this relationship is forever. That's the feeling underneath it. Incredible loyalty. Um, Devotion almost, like too much. Too much. Um, but you know what? With my parent, like my parent, she did her best to raise me. My mom did. And did an awesome job in a lot of ways. Some other ways, not so much. Okay. Some ways, there were things that we couldn't face, things we couldn't talk about, weren't allowed to discuss with other people. Um, she was my dad wasn't around, so she was the only viewpoint, and there was intense training of loyalty implicitly and explicitly. She also incredibly loyal. My siblings incredibly loyal. Okay, it was like a thing that connected us. That's the power of loyalty. But what's the problem? There's no other viewpoint. There is no other viewpoint that is allowed in. And that might sound a little familiar, because that happens in groups of all sizes. Okay? No other viewpoint allowed in. So there's usually one leader, and that person's viewpoint, style, takes over. So then it starts to sound not so nice, right? Your your parent when you're young, like, yeah, their viewpoint is more, I don't know, experienced, let's call it, not better than their kids. So it's a little bit appropriate, but then as you get older, do you have this revolution into your own way of thinking? Do you break out of whatever the heck your parent trained you into? You know, what I would call, I guess, good parents, they train you to think for yourself. People who demand loyalty, they do not. Huge difference. So for me, it was like a big awakening to be like, oh my God, there are other viewpoints? Oh my goodness. Wait, not everybody thinks this way? I mean, it sounds cultish, almost. Wait a minute. Like, hang on. There's a world out here and not everybody thinks like us? Huh? So I was kind of like trained into it, I would say, from a young age. But then it hangs around, and now I think I can sort of use it for good, okay? I know how to challenge it. I know that this is in me, and I know that it's not always good. It's not always appropriate. In my current relationship, I'm intensely loyal, but I don't mind complaining, making my voice heard, saying this is imperfect. There's things wrong. This relationship has issues in XYZ ways. Those are all things you don't do when you're overly loyal or in a cult or being controlled by somebody. You keep your viewpoint in, you adopt another person's viewpoint. So loyalty is a funny word because it can be positive. It's usually seen as positive. But when it becomes too much, it's something else. And I don't even know what the word is. When you go into negative, you're like, you're being brainwashed. There's loyalty, and then you're brainwashed. You're totally controlled. You have lost agency. You can't move for yourself. You're not an individual anymore. You're just a member of this group, this clan. And in a romantic relationship, I was in a long-term romantic relationship, 10 years, and I just didn't think that it was going to end. It's almost like overcommitment, total commitment. This is where it goes into, you could call it like black and white thinking, perfectionism, you could say. I thought that this was perfect. This was obviously meant to be. This is never going to end. No doubt, which is a red flag. Okay, all of these things are red flags because they're not real. They're not in reality. The gray area of real life is lost. Is not there. Loyalty, like absolute loyalty, is too simple. It's not accurate. It might feel good. Of course it feels good. It's simple. It's easy. All you do is you follow this one person and what she says, what he says. Go for it. You don't have to think yourself at all. You don't have any actual agency. You don't have any... You're not you, man. You are this group. You are the leader. You want to be the leader. I mean, you want to be like the leader. You don't want to actually lead, because that's another job. That's a different type of ego. Overly loyal means you lose yourself. You don't have yourself. So luckily, speaking of this relationship in my life, romantic relationship, is the thing that allowed me to break out of the first one. Okay? This is the thing that allowed me to adopt a new viewpoint. To see that truly that there are other viewpoints. That came through a romantic relationship with a woman who I loved and therefore didn't dismiss. It's as simple as that. So the old viewpoints that I had adopted, that I was taught, that I was trained into, they got cracked. They went through a process. They were seen from another angle. And when you're stuck in overly loyal groups, families, other groups, you just don't see it. You take the viewpoint of the others and you dismiss it. You say it's not valid. You say it sucks for this reason, they're wrong. They're all wrong. And then you don't grow. And even worse, you make lots of enemies. Start wars. Not good. Not good. And in my family growing up, it was the same thing. It was us and it was the others. Overly loyal. We were like a little group, isolated. We had friends. Okay, that's another like crack. But in general, we thought that these other people were so different from us. And most of the time, we were very judgy about them and thought they were worse than us. So much dumber than we are. Oh my God. I mean, what a worldview. What a worldview. Oh my God. And contrast that with being raised into like a family where you are taught over and over that these people are just like you. Okay? That's what I'm trying to do as a parent. I consciously try to do it, seriously. I don't want my kids thinking that they are so different, that they're so alone, that they're better than everybody. I do not want that in any way. I want them to think you are just like a million other amazing kids in the world. Anyways, I think that's it for today. I could go on and on, obviously. Have a lovely rest of the week. Lovely Thursday. Take it easy. Thank you.